Hey guys, we're here and this video is for the troubleshooting and further configuration. So we're going to show you guys a few methods to help accommodate a dog that might not be getting it quite as well as they should, or if you have a unique bedroom layout or different type of bed, we're going to cover some different ways you can handle that here. So first thing, let's say your dog is just not getting used to the ramp, they're having trouble using it, maybe they're really set in their ways in terms of jumping off the bed or using something else. So a few things you can consider. If they were already using a type of ramp or steps or something like that, you want to have the ramp configured in as similar as possible to their initial orientation that they had with the stairs or whatever it was. So if they had stairs, over here, coming down this way towards the exit, which is by the camera where you guys are, you might actually take the ramp and have it start here and go down. Even if it sticks out past the bed a little bit, that's all right. You want to try to accommodate what they were used to before, and then you can slowly migrate it to how you would like it, such as this. Also, if the dog, depending on their physical ability, if they're having trouble going up the steepness of the ramp, it's totally okay to lower it a little bit less than the bed itself, because there's still only just a tiny little step for them to do once they're here, and it'll be that much easier for them to go up and down. So that's totally fine. Even lower perhaps. And if the dog is just not wanting to use the ramp, go back to the training video, check that out, and don't be afraid to go through those steps again. Put the ramp flat, get them to walk up and down it, get them really used to the feel of the carpet on their paws. You can set it up at a couch or a sofa for a little while, get them used to that, and then slowly work your way back up to the height of the bed. You want them to be comfortable in each and every single stage leading up to this one, before you set it up here and have them start doing this. So a big part in determining if your dog is willing to use the ramp, especially if they're stuck in their old ways or an older dog and it's just hard getting them used to using the ramp, what really makes a big difference is how you orient the ramp in the room. So the exit is over here where the camera is. So me personally, for my dog and Crusoe, he likes to come down here, and we like to have the ramp angled towards the door. For him, that works well, and it's in his head that it's just easier for him to take this shortcut down to the exit. That's fine. But if your dog is really used to jumping off the bed, let's say, and they always go from this corner because the exit is over here, what you want to do is put the ramp kind of in their way so it obstructs their instinct and their normal habit of just jumping here. So what you can actually do is try flipping the ramp. Okay, so we would go this way, and we'll switch the railings over to the other side. Okay, so now the dog's going to come here and he's got something in the way. It's different. And with a bit of training, of course, you can get them to come down this way and then to the door. And this might kind of take it out of their head and change their routine enough that they would start using the ramp. So that's one option. Or what you can do is try the ramp over here. Now I know you probably don't want to have the ramp sticking out from the bed like this forever. That's very understandable, but you might want to try it at first. And I could put the railing over here. You might want to try it like this for a while to see if this, because it's so convenient, it's right to the door. So they might come here and it's just easier for them to jump onto here and go down as opposed to the big jump from the floor. And that, even if you don't leave it here, that might just start to put the ramp in their head in terms of being an easier solution down to the floor. And then what you can do is, once they're using it, and then you can come back over to here and have the ramp like this, and now they're used to using it and they know it's just an easier way down. It's still in their way, it's still in their normal path of going out, and now with a little bit of training again, you get them to realize that the ramp is now going this way, and hopefully they'll start to use it that way. So don't be afraid to try some different configurations and see what works, especially considering where the exit is in that room and their normal routine path out or off of the bed. Another little issue that you might come into is what if you have a different type of bed setup? So we have, the traditional box spring and mattress over that. And of course our safety rope, the rope goes under the mattress but above the box spring. But if you have a sleigh bed, let's say, or with a metal frame or something different, or let's say you don't use a box spring, there's still a variety of ways you can attach the safety rope, but you always need to find a way to do that. So let's say you have a metal frame, and you can just imagine it for now. You can still take this rope, you could tie it off somewhere to the metal, because usually there's different bars that go down, and you want to still tie it off to the leg. Okay, it doesn't matter if you tie it off, higher up on the bed, as long as you can tie it as high as possible to the ramp itself, so the top of the leg somewhere. Okay, so depending on the type of sleigh bed that you have, if it's just a single piece of wood, you might not have a great option to tie the rope to here. Plus, depending on how the bed is designed, if the footboard, comes out like to here and there's a big gap between the mattress and the footboard and then the ramp, it might be hard for the dog to get over that gap to the ramp and vice versa. So what you can do in that sense is we can take the ramp and again, this is going to depend on where the exit is in your room, but you could also set it up like this. And then switch the railings, of course. And this time, with the safety rope, instead of putting it the lengthwise of the bed, it would go over there to that side of the mattress. Once again, rope goes under the mattress. It's going to come out over here, and you're going to tie it to the leg of the ramp once again. Or, if you prefer not to have it this way, you could flip it over. And if you want a little more room for yourself to get in and out of the bed over here, you could slide it that way a bit or come back this way as your needs are, doesn't matter. But let's say it's over here, you still have room to get in and out of bed, and it only sticks out a tiny little bit over here. So that's fine. And we can put the railing over here. And what you could do, even if you didn't want to put the bottom railing, that's all right as well, because the dog will still come over here, come down the ramp, and even if they take a little shortcut cut off over here, that's fine. And it might just prevent you from knocking the railing or breaking the railing, especially if it's sticking out just a little bit like that. And just as a few extra tips for those extra stubborn dogs out there, one thing you should remember is never force your dog to use the ramp, okay? So don't ever kind of pull them by the collar or push them or anything like that. That's just going to make them more scared and less likely to use it. A dog will always learn best when they do something themselves and you reward them for that process. So, and if you refer back to the training video, there's all the steps there that you need to do. But what you really want to do is encourage the dog to use the ramp and reward them as they do it on their own. You can lay treats if you need to, or lead them up with a cookie, doesn't matter. And starting on the lower settings is easier as well. It's just less intimidating, especially for a dog who's never used any sort of ramp before. And just get them really used to it as much as possible. And don't be afraid to set it up to a couch or a sofa and leave it there for a week even, and just practice a little bit every day if they're that extra stubborn dog who just can't get it. But we took this to a trade show and we had a bunch of dogs there, and many of them were using it on their very first try, so it's really not that hard. A lot of dogs can do it. It's just all about being positive and reinforcing them and not pushing or forcing them at all. They have to do it on their own. And also, I've said this a million times, but you got to have that safety rope set up. If they do it and you get a bit of wobble or they go too fast or something like that, that can get in their head too, and that can scare them. So you got to have that rope attached so that's always nice and secure, and they never have a worry about it wobbling or feeling unstable. Okay? All right, so thanks for watching the extra tips and orientation and troubleshooting, guys. If you have any questions or any other concerns or have something I haven't covered here, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll do my best to help you. whether it's in terms of setting up your dog ramp or on the training side. I'm not an expert dog trainer, but I'm not bad, and I do know some people in the industry, so I can potentially hook you up there. So let me know, send me an email for anything extra, but hopefully these videos have covered everything you need to know. So thanks for watching and enjoy your doggo ramp. Good boy. Good boy.